All right, I'm going to move on into Photoshop now. And so in Photoshop, I'm going to open up the mock-up for project 2. Now, by the way, if you ever open stuff and it does this on your computer and not quite sure where to find it, a really easy fix is to just drag this down and then it's there. I don't know why Photoshop does that now. It didn't used to. And it might not on things that aren't laptops. All right, remember that if you have a bunch of boxes open, you just hit Shift Tab and it'll clean it up. Okay, I'm gonna open up layers as our magic palette to be looking at. All right, now when you, remember if you go in here and if you ever like not sure, just turn it off. You can see, oh, that's got a transparent background now. Turn the white back on. Click down here. It's got a ton of stuff it's done for you already. You can just, it's pretty cool just to see all the stuff that Photoshop can do. Here is your magic layer right here, okay? You're gonna double click that, not click once, double click it, and it's gonna open up to here. Again, you can turn that off, turn it on, all that stuff, okay? I'm gonna turn that on for a second, turn that off. And I'm gonna File, Place Embedded. This is where Photoshop is becoming a little bit, you can still link stuff. For what we're doing here, just keep it embedded. That means it's permanently in the file and it won't update if you do something outside of Photoshop. But we know you're done with your vector file. So place embedded, find where that is, hit place, and it's going to tell you like which artboard did you want, which is good. I only did one artboard, so I'm gonna bring that in. Crop to bounding box is good. That's fine. It'll probably default to that. If it's something else and it opens and you can't see it, change that when you reopen it. Okay. By the way, there are a lot of ways that you can bring this into, that's interesting. Oh, if that happens, I'm glad that happened. It's because it's below the white layer. You gotta just move the layers or turn it off. Be very, very careful with layers. All right. So bringing that in, I'm gonna, because I moved that, I lost the automatic way to scale. So you can just go right up here, Edit, Transform, Scale. You can do that anytime. If it's skewing for some reason and hitting Shift isn't working, Edit, Transform, Scale. And you don't have to click any buttons. I'm just dragging right now, making it bigger. Okay, now because it's smart art, it still thinks it's vector. Remember that video you were supposed to watch between vector and raster? We talked about it in software review. You'll get used to it the more you do it. So it's, even though I'm enlarging it, it's still gonna stay clean. I'm gonna put it, I don't know, here, or maybe over here for now. And it's a whole new canvas, so. Now, it won't do anything until you hit return. You have to hit return. Okay, I hit return. I see that it is still smart art. That's what that thing is right there. Now, but what about my mug? If I go File, Save, or it's always Command S, then I go back to this. Cool! And maybe you leave it there. In fact, I like where that H ended up moving. But if you're not sure, you could move it over here. What if I want it here? Now it hasn't done anything yet. If I click back, it hasn't changed. But as soon as I go File, Save, or Command S, and I go back, it's moved, okay? These two layers work together. So I'm gonna move it back over here. And also I decided I don't want a white background. So I'm gonna go to this layer. I'm gonna select the whole background, which is always Command A or Select All. Command A. And I want, maybe I want that color. Maybe I want to go with a more vibrant blue. Okay, then I have to go Edit, Fill. That's the foreground color. I'm gonna hit OK, and it goes, and whoa, that hurts a little bit. That's okay, because we're not done yet. But just so you know, as soon as you hit Save, it wants to make it that on the cup. That blue and that black's a little bit off-putting to me. So I want to make those white. Now, first of all, it won't let you change it to white while it is still smart art. But that's okay, because we can change that anyway. All right, so with this, I can deselect, doesn't matter. I want to make it smart art. That means you need to rasterize the layer. So with that layer selected, show you have that layer selected, I'm going to go up to, it's not under type, oddly enough, it's under layer, rasterize. And it doesn't have anything available right here, smart object. But that's what that little thing is. It's saying smart object. It's trying to still stay vector, which doesn't allow you to do as much. But it does allow you to keep it at a clean. But I know that I don't need to make it any bigger. I'm going to rasterize the smart object. That thing goes away. Now it looks like the other layers. It's cool. Now here's a quick and easy way to select all of those letters instead of, you know, going through here and being like, okay, well, they're all connected. That is an easy way to just use a magic wand. If that didn't work, by the way, this is a quick thing in Photoshop to know. I'm on that layer where that's the only thing that's there, and it's raster. I'm gonna select everything, so Command A, and then there's a really cool trick. If these the little arrows on your keyboard, just go back and forth. Oops, sorry, you have to be in select. Back and forth, and they're selected. Cool. All right, so with that, I'm gonna go edit, fill, and I want those to be white. There you go. You can always hit Command D to deselect, or I have the habit of just coming over here. All right, I'm gonna hit save again, Command S, and there's my mug. Let's say like, oh, maybe I wanna move that over a little bit. Remember, you can always come back in here. You've gotta be on that, the top button there, which is move. I could move it over here. Is that where I want it to be? Maybe I want it to be right on the top. You have to hit Command S again or File Save, and it'll respond. That's where I want it. Okay. So then I'm going to make sure that I save it correctly. That would have to be a file save as. Maybe you saved it even earlier. For me, I'm save on the computer, not in the cloud. I like to go to the desktop. And I asked you guys to save it as your last name. So my last name is Arnell. You don't save it as Arnell, your last name. Proj 2 mug. Go ahead and keep it. Photoshop is the PSD is your native file type. I'm going to keep it on the desktop so I know where it is. It's fine. All right. That's that part. So I'm going to stop the share and stop recording.